invisibly, a forgotten appointment, a birthday card left unwritten, an afternoon nap that stretches longer than usual. At first, these things feel small, insignificant even. You tell yourself that everyone forgets sometimes. Everyone gets tired. But deep inside, something whispers that this isn't just age. Something has shifted. The days blur together. Their routines start to change. They might stop taking their morning walk. The newspapers pile up, unread. They might eat less, talk less, smile less. The world, once full of movement and meaning, now seems distant, as though they're slowly stepping away from it, piece by piece. It's easy to miss the signs at first. You try to rationalize. Maybe it's just the weather. Maybe it's just a bad week. But it keeps happening. You start to notice the way their hands tremble when they reach for a cup, how they forget the name of a familiar friend, how they seem to stare at nothing for longer than usual. It's as though a part of them is drifting somewhere you cannot follow. The body begins to change. There's weight loss, sometimes subtle, sometimes dramatic. They feel cold all the time. They shiver, even under blankets. The skin becomes paper thin, fragile to the touch. Their once firm grip now feels like air between your fingers. They tire easily. Simple tasks, brushing teeth, walking to the mailbox, become exhausting. You offer help, and at first they resist. But eventually, even they begin to surrender to the slowness taking over. Sleep becomes their refuge. At first, they nap more during the day. Then it becomes harder for them to stay awake. Conversations grow shorter. Responses come slower. They drift in and out of sleep, as though the line between dreaming and waking has started to fade. You watch them sleep for hours, wondering what they dream about, wondering if, in those dreams, they're walking again, laughing again, living again. There's a change in how they engage with the world. Social events become overwhelming. Crowds, noise, even phone calls feel like too much. They begin to retreat, not out of sadness, but as though they're turning inward. You'll see them staring out the window, watching the same patch of sky for hours. Sometimes they smile at things you cannot see. Sometimes they speak to people who aren't there. And instead of being afraid, you begin to wonder, what if those aren't hallucinations, but reunions? What if the veil between here and what comes next is thinning? They may begin to talk about going home. Not your home. A different one. They might say things like, "I think it's time," or "I'm tired." These words are not to be feared. They are not giving up. They are preparing. There is a knowing that arrives near the end, a quiet understanding that their time here is finishing. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it not in what they say, but in what they no longer need to say. You'll notice changes in appetite. They'll eat less and drink less. This is not suffering. It's the body's way of slowly shutting down. Digestion becomes less important when life is winding down. You may try to encourage them to eat, to sip water. And sometimes they will, but often they won't. And that's okay. The body knows what it's doing. In the final year of life, the heart begins to speak louder than the body. Regrets may surface. Old stories resurface. Tears might flow without warning. You might hear apologies, long-held confessions, or declarations of love. These moments are gold. They are life's way of wrapping things up. Don't rush them. Don't correct them. Just listen. Let them say what they need to say, even if it makes no sense to you. Sometimes, healing happens in ways you never expected. A sibling who hasn't visited in years finally comes. A rift mended. A hug given. A smile shared. It's as though time knows it's short and makes room for grace. Other times, you don't get the closure you hoped for. And that, too, is part of the journey. Not every story ends perfectly, but every story ends with truth. The bathroom becomes a dangerous place. Falls become common. They may need help walking, bathing, dressing. Dignity feels fragile. You may see them struggle with the loss of independence. But there's a quiet courage in the way they allow themselves to be cared for, to be vulnerable, to trust someone with their most basic needs. If you are a caregiver, you may find yourself exhausted, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Watching someone you love fade is not a task, it's a sacred act. A quiet, daily sacrifice. And if no one has told you lately, you're doing something incredibly brave. You are holding space for a soul in transition. That is holy work. As the months pass, time seems to stretch. Some days feel endless, and others slip away like sand. You'll find yourself clinging to tiny moments of smile, a shared story, the feel of their hand in yours. You'll memorize the sound of their voice, the shape of their laugh, because deep down, you know that one day those sounds will become echoes. And then the signs grow clearer. Their breathing changes. It becomes shallower, irregular, sometimes fast, sometimes so slow you wonder if it stopped. Their hands and feet grow cooler. Their skin changes color. They might become confused, disoriented. There will be moments of clarity, what some call a rally, where they seem suddenly better. They might talk, eat, even smile again. You'll think maybe they're turning a corner. But often, this is just the body's final burst of energy before the end. When the time comes, it will come quietly. There may be no warning, or there may be days of slow decline. You may be there, or you may not. Some people wait until they are alone. Others hold on until that one last person arrives. Each departure is unique. Each passing is personal. When they take their final breath, you will know. The air in the room will change. The world will pause. There will be no music, no lights, just silence. And in that silence, you will feel something shift, something ancient, something eternal. And in the days that follow, grief will move in like a shadow, heavy, familiar. It will sit with you when the house is too quiet. It will visit you when you see their favorite chair, hear their favorite song. Grief is not the enemy, it is love's echo. Proof that you loved deeply, that a life was lived, and that its end mattered. You will cry at unexpected moments, in the grocery store, at the sound of laughter, while folding laundry, and sometimes you'll smile just as suddenly at a memory, at something they would have said. Love doesn't leave when the person does. It stays. It weaves itself into your everyday. It becomes part of who you are. The final year of life is not just about decline. It's about presence, about showing up, about bearing witness to someone's final walk through this world. It's about holding their hand and saying, "You're not alone." It's about listening when there are no more words, about loving them when they cannot love themselves. And if you are in that space right now, if someone you love is nearing the end, know that you are not alone. There is no right way to do this. No perfect words. No perfect goodbyes. Just love. Just presence. That is enough. And when it's over, don't rush your grief. Let it come. Let it speak. Let it wash over you like a tide. It will not drown you. It will teach you. It will carve you into someone deeper, softer, more alive. Speak their name. Tell their story. Light a candle. Hold a photograph. Remember them not only in sadness, but in joy, in laughter, in everything beautiful that remains. And in the comments below, if they're still here or if they've gone, write this: you are remembered. You are loved. I carry your story with me, always. Because love, real love, never ends. It simply changes form. And in every heartbeat, every tear, every quiet moment, they are with you, still.